What's up, nerds? Welcome to NGR's Pow Block Hour on Nintendo Show. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, that beautiful, beautiful man over there, Edward Barnell.
Were you about to say beautiful black man?
No.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm in a tanuki suit. Dang it, that didn't work well. Oh, well. Hey, everybody.
How's it going, Ed?
I'm doing great.
Ed, we finally have 2 shows in 1 week, like we promised. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! We made it.
Yes, we have.
Man, I'm so excited. I'm like this close to getting all the shrines in Zelda. Like this close.
Yeah,
So
a lot
close.
of people have been finishing up the game, getting the shrines and stuff. But there's just still more in the game to get and see. I'm just like, oh crap.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 or 4 armor sets that I need to find. And then there's there's 4 that I don't have any of the pieces for. And then there's some that I do have some of the pieces for, like the Zora armor. There's 2 other pieces for the Zora armor that I don't have. So I'm going to go find the rest of the armor. I'm going to go finish the memories after I find all the shrines. And then, I'm going to go fight Ganon. And that's going to be fun. And then after I fight Ganon, I will probably play less Zelda, but still look for like Korok puzzles and stuff. Maybe I'll go search for some of those. But yeah,
well,
man.
You'll be playing probably what, the rest of your Switch games, or are you going to Horizon? I would think did you pick up Horizon?
Yeah, I got Horizon.
Yeah.
I played about 15 hours of it before Zelda came out, but like I don't know if I can go back, honestly. Like I want to, and like my plan was to move on to Mass Effect from Zelda, but a lot of people are saying things about Mass Effect that worry me. So like I think I'm going to hold off a little bit on Mass Effect just because like I don't know. Like if this isn't like a 8, 9, 10 scoring game, I don't know if I'm going to, because like on like probably about a month ago on NGR, I said I'm going to try to spend less money on games, but really play more of less games, like spend more time with games that I've already bought. And like, I mean, I think I've gotten my money's worth out of Zelda so far, and I haven't even beaten the game, and I'm at the 100+ hour mark. So, I don't know where to go from here. I want to play Binding of Isaac. I do have that. I want to play a little bit of Bomberman. My brother-in-law just bought a Switch, so I'll probably be showing him how the ropes on Zelda, and we're gonna play probably some Bomberman, and Mario Kart comes out in a month, and
yes.
So
yeah,
I mean,
I know I've been like trying to play some of my backlog. I know Persona 5 is the next big one for me. I think I'm trying to finish Horizon, really try to jump, because I'm trying to do it quickly so I can get back to Zelda, because like just like you finding more shrines, I still got 2 more deities like to find and fight. I still got 2 more towers to unlock. But I'm just trying to get through Horizon. And I was thinking of going, because I have Dishonored 2 and I have Mankind Deus Ex Mankind Divided, or is it that's a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Mankind Divided. Yeah, I got those 2 games that I need to work on. And once my external hard drive come in, I'll load up some of my backlog, like Mad Max and Mirror's Edge. And then I'll be soon, probably by May, I'll return to Mafia 3.
Yeah.
Later, a little bit later. Yeah.
It's interesting because like I really, really want to go back to Horizon, but everybody I've talked to that says, yeah, I played Horizon and then I played Zelda and then I've tried to go back to Horizon and all I want to do is climb on everything and you can't do that, or do certain things that you can do in Zelda and you can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I wish Horizon would have come out a week earlier, just a week. Even because even if I had that week, I probably could have powered through Horizon before I started Zelda. But like, man, I don't know if I can go back right now. And like that game's pretty and that game plays well, and I like what that game is doing gameplay wise. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. Zelda has just changed a lot of things for me, especially like the Switch and Zelda in general have gotten me more enthusiastic about different styles of games and different types of games, and just that Nintendo thing that we all love about the company in the first place. Like, I don't know if I can go back, man.
I think you can.
I think I might hold off on that though, because like the open world experience I'm having with Zelda, and then I'll move to Mario Kart and something. Maybe I'll save Horizon for like a summer game when we're in that summer drought, because I'll probably be using my Switch for Splatoon and Mario Kart at that point, and that'll be like a really good palate cleanser, and then Horizon will be my big major open world game.
Uh, yeah, my well, see, because like during started in June, and I might just start it in May, May, June, and July, because I normally do my backlog bash, but I never, I never tend to finish it. But Horizon, I do want to finish, and I think it would be a good summer game for you. And I say give it, uh, if you want to do it in 2 weeks or whatever you want to put yourself on a time limit or anything. I know the week of E3, I'm probably not going to be playing anything, unless there's some good demos and stuff coming out, whatever they announce. But yeah, some of my games I'll probably be waiting starting in May and stuff. But Zelda, I know I want to finish it, but exploring and doing these shrines, dude, and getting not so much getting the outfits or anything, but like getting ingredients and cooking and selling stuff. There's just like so many busy activities in that game.
Yeah. Yeah. And pro tip though, if you're playing Zelda and you haven't started yet, sell your recipes. Do not, like, if you're cooking, sell your recipes. Do not sell like the elements that you find or like the monster parts or anything, because you do need all of that eventually. So like, I'm not going to tell you what it's for. I'm not going to tell you where you can sell it for stuff or trade it for stuff, but you are going to need all that eventually. So yeah.
Did you get that one great fairy that's a little bit pricey, I should say?
Not yet. I did not go back there yet.
Okay.
So
I haven't met her yet, so I don't know where she's at. So I'll wait for that to get to that point.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I never mind. I'm not going to go into it. I don't want to spoil anything because like it's weird because everything you say about Zelda is might be a spoiler.
I think at this time, I think everybody's about been played the game because it's been 3 weeks. So unless you don't have a Wii U and unless you don't have a Switch, yeah, it's a little bit spoilerific. Or if you haven't watched videos or been at a friend's house. But I'm like, for probably majority of people who have watched this got the game and probably still playing it and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Zelda's a game, man. It is a game. And man, I'm disappointed that I'm not gonna like have something to play right afterwards, because like my plan was to go to Mass Effect, and I am gonna play Binding of Isaac, I think, next after Zelda, but focusing on one game instead of trying to play like 47 different games at one time is really nice.
Yes.
Really nice.
Yes.
And my friends are like, you should play Nier, you should at least try Mass Effect, you should
I gotta get Nier
to Horizon. I'm like, I'll get there eventually sometime.
Yeah.
Especially Nier, because a lot of people are saying Nier is really, really a game that is special. It's in different ways. It's that platinum magic that Bayonetta had, and put into an RPG style game, and like all the different ways you can end the game or the endings or something. Like, I don't know, there's a lot to that game, and like I think Nier might be on my list now instead of Mass Effect at some point. But
yeah, because I know for me, Nier and Ghost Recon Wildlands I need to get. And I think I decided to do Mass Effect on Xbox One. I was gonna get it for both systems, but I'm just like, I might as well go with one because I think they've been having problems with the PS4 version.
Yeah,
but that game been having problems in the first place. But this is a Nintendo podcast, so
yeah, well, yeah, it is. But you know, we like other games too. We're not embarrassed to say we like other games.
Yes. There's a game called Flint Hook.
Flint Hook?
Yeah. It's on PS4. I was looking at it. I was wondering, I'm like, did they announce this game for Switch?
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. Power of the internet, people. Power of the internet.
Because I'm kind of interested in it. I'm like, oh, this game looks kind of fun. This is like a rogue Metroid game.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like a Metroid style game. I don't know. There's a game coming out for Switch though called Mr. Shifty.
Yes.
That game looks awesome. That is on my radar.
I bet you still didn't watch that.
Nope, I still haven't watched the Nindies thing.
Watch it after the show. Watch it.
I'm going to. I will. But man, Mr. Shifty looks awesome. Yeah, it looks like Hotline Miami meets Nightcrawler from X-Men.
Pretty much. I like the art style though. The art style is so.
It looks like those old school Dick Tracy comics, like the really sharp, like bright colors, but like the shadows are just jet black. It looks awesome. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I know. We probably just dated ourselves from making a Dick Tracy reference, but that's okay.
No, we haven't. I've mentioned that Dick Tracy about that game when I was been talking about it with other people, so it's all good.
Man. Well, yeah. Let's get into some of these cool news stories that are happening. We're gonna start out with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The Wii U version has been canceled, but you can switch your order over to the Switch version or another version if you would like to. Which, I mean, come on, we saw that coming after the Switch. Between the popularity of the Switch, the way Nintendo kind of really immediately killed the Wii U, and game that's coming out a year and a half from now coming to that platform really doesn't make sense from a business perspective.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this game is probably made for the Switch. Like, I feel like this is a Switch game. Like, yes, please, on the Switch, on that small screen, taking it with you. Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm excited for this game.
I'm going to wait till I see more gameplay of it. Like until I see I kind of want to say official gameplay trailer, kind of almost like showcase or like ukulele or stuff like that. It's just like I think I need to see more because I want to see boss battles. I want to see what other things that you could do before I say, well, it's pretty much Castlevania, but with a different paint by the numbers feel to it, look to it.
Yeah. I like the art style. I here's the thing. I'm not the biggest Castlevania fan. I am going to go out and say I've never played Symphony of the Night. I've never played Super Castlevania 4. I've never played any of the NES versions. Like, I've never really gotten into Castlevania. And I don't know why.
That's shocking.
Because like I do enjoy those styles of games. Mm-hmm. But I think the last Castlevania game I played was one of the DS ones. Order of Ecclesia, I think, was the last one I played.
With the female character? Okay.
Yeah. And I mean I liked it a lot. I just never went back and played any of the other ones. So
Well, I have a history with Castlevania. Like I only one that I haven't played. Well, only the two that I haven't played like for as mate. Well, let's say three, four actually. Sorry everybody. Because Castlevania 3 for NES I didn't play. Um, that Castlevania sequel that was on PS4 I didn't play. Uh, I didn't play that 3DS one neither. That in the Castlevania fighting game I didn't play. Oh, in the Sega Genesis version. So 5 of them I didn't play. I played Dracula X. That came to the Super Nintendo. And I think the TurboGrafx / PC Engine version is still on Wii Virtual Console. If they haven't taken it off. I think that one is available, but if not, I haven't played that one either. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I played the original version. So when it was on PS1 when it first came out, I did play, and I didn't play the Sega Saturn version, but I did play the PlayStation version and beat it.
Let's see. I mean, those are games I meant to go back to, but I mean, I just haven't. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think they're for a certain audience. So I mean, they are kind of hard games, and I think once they went the Metroid style, they became easier. Because they weren't linear no more.
Yeah, and that's kind of where, like, I don't know if I should go play like 1, 2, and 3 first. I heard 2 and 3 are super hard, and like I do want to play Symphony of the Night just because that's like one of the games that's so integral to gaming.
2 is, I mean, if you want to play like the linear ones, you could play the trilogy 1, 2, and 3. Just to see how they are, because like one is the most challenging. 3 may be a little bit hard, but because I haven't played it, I don't know. 2 is like kind of the first Metroid style game for the Castlevania series. And there is the Game Boy version. But 2, you just probably need a strategy guide because the localization is bad. So
okay.
That's the only thing that you need to do for 2 if you want to get everything. If not, you could go in without knowing nothing and just try to figure stuff out yourself and get the multiple endings that's in that game.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to it. I feel like I have I have Symphony of the Night on Xbox, and I'm sure they'll be coming to Virtual Console at some point again for the 90th time.
Well, Symphony of the Night won't come to
not that one, but I mean like the original ones and Super Castlevania 4.
Oh yeah,
Dracula X I think is already on 3DS. So
I'm surprised they even have Symphony of the Night on Xbox, because I'm just like, this was a PlayStation game, PlayStation only game. Like, why is it on Microsoft system?
Yeah. So okay, so we're gonna move along here. Mario Kart, or GameStop came out and said that Mario Kart 8 is their highest pre-ordered Switch game right now, and they expect it to do just as well or better than the Wii U version of the game, which is exciting. Mario Kart is just one of the best games ever. Every time one comes out, I get super excited, and Mario Kart 8 is my favorite Mario Kart. I feel like it feels the best. There were some things I had issues with, like you can't carry 2 items, and the battle mode kind of sucked. But this version's fixing both of those problems and adding more characters and adding more tracks and vehicles and stuff. And I'm just like, woohoo! Plus, it's a game I can get my wife to play with me. So,
double. Oh, go ahead. Oh,
I was just dancing.
Oh, I really want Double Dash to come back hopefully there is GameCube Virtual Console on Switch, because I feel like Double Dash is number one to me, and then Mario Kart 8 is number two. Because 8 is just from music to the racing to the tracks. It blows my mind on how addictive that game is. Like
Yeah.
you'd be like, well, I'll just do maybe a match and realize that 4 hours have passed. And you're like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Especially racing especially racing alongside other people in the community and online. It's just like, wow. Like I gotta up my game to be number one.
Yeah. And I mean, Double Dash was my favorite until Mario Kart 8. I do want to be clear on that. I like the strategy that you needed to use in that game, and like the different characters giving you different items felt really awesome. I wish they would make Double Dash 2 at some point. I really wish they would make a proper sequel to Double Dash specifically, especially with all the new characters and all the new items they've introduced. Like the Splatoon characters would get like squirt guns or ink blobs or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like they could do a lot of cool stuff with a lot of the new characters. Plus, if they're introducing characters outside of the Mario universe, like Zelda and Animal Crossing and stuff, you could pull all those items in. It would be cool.
Yeah.
Probably
for Mario Kart 9 Double Dash again.
It's sitting on my shelf over there. I should pull
I'm
that.
So jealous. I'm so jealous of you right now.
I should plug it in and play it. I feel like, yeah. But
yeah,
Mario Kart 8 is expected to do well. GameStop has their sales figures posted on here based on system, how many systems were sold to how many games were sold, how many Mario Kart games were sold for that system. The Mario Kart DS sold 24 million units, and Mario Kart Wii sold 35 million units. So, and it's yep.
And the 3DS one, so it continues to sell well too.
Yeah,
Mario
as
Kart
of
7.
now, I think it says Mario Kart 7 sold about 10 million units, which is a little low, I feel like, but
you gotta think about it. That's $400 million.
Yeah.
And the Wii ones at $50,
yeah,
35 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. So off one game. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. And I think the Mario Kart 8 has sold like 8 million. I think of the 14 million install base, 8 million people own that one. So
yeah, and that's a huge attachment. That's like, because everybody pretty much bought it the day it came out. Because don't forget, Mario Kart on Wii U had that deal. If you bought Mario Kart 8, you got another game for free, additional version. For $5, you got to choose. That's how I got my Pikmin game, Pikmin 3, and I love Pikmin 3.
Oh my gosh, Pikmin 3 is so good. I can't wait for Pikmin to come back. I hope they announce something soon, because I mean, they have already confirmed that Pikmin 4 is in development. So
yeah, I really want to play Pikmin 2.
Virtual console, man, it's gonna come. It's gonna come soon.
Well, they said the one for Wii is good too.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
One is like,
actually, though, on this is the only time I'm ever gonna say this, unless we're talking about Wii Sports. But the definitive way to play Pikmin 3 is with a Wii remote and nunchuck with the map in your lap on the gamepad, because it's the only way you can run and throw your Pikmin at the same time. And like, you can actually aim where you're throwing while you're running, instead of like, it's that is the definitive way to play that game, and it's great.
Oh wow,
it's awesome. Oh, so good. Oh,
Pikmin. Can I just still say that Pikmin 3 still looks beautiful today?
Like, yeah, I've never seen a better looking strawberry.
it's well, yeah, but I'm just like, it's something about Nintendo art that I just look and be like, how the heck did y'all pull this off?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like Nintendo is the master of making something look great on in like a small file size. Like
Yes.
their art direction and like the way they do stuff and fitting it on like a small like on cartridge, like you could how can you tell me that Breath of the Wild is only 13 gigs like to download on Switch and 7 on Wii U? Like how how do you do that? Like I know it's smart asset, like reusing assets in a smart way and like that kind of stuff, but man, how do you do that? There's some smart people over there, and they're way smarter than I am, obviously, because I'm sitting in a spare bedroom.
I'm just even impressed at the grass and the water just moving. We'll talk about Zelda later because there's something about when you sit back and actually look at a game, when the character's not moving, but everything else is moving around it, and it just looks I kind of want to say breathtaking, like you're just like in awe.
Yeah,
And Nintendo does that a lot, does that a lot to me. Because like even when Kirby Epic Yarn came out, I was just like, you made a game out of yarn and it looks fantastic. Now you can
yeah,
kind of say the same thing with Little Big Planet 2. But Little Big Planet is just like, okay, that was creative on how they designed their levels. But for art, it was just like, I guess.
yeah, yeah. It's it's amazing how different they do things and how well it turns out a lot of the time. And it's just like another game I go back to. Well, two games on Wii U specifically, besides Pikmin, are Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Yes.
Like that game is freaking amazing looking. Like it's cool how everything looks like it's molded out of clay. And Yoshi's Woolly World
My
is one of
fave.
the best looking games. If you get up close on a Yarn Yoshi, it really like you can see the like you know how like when yarn is in the ball but the yarn starts to come undone, you can see the little strings start to come unfolded,
Yeah.
like, and it's kind of fuzzy around the yarn. It's just like you can
Yes.
see that. Oh, it's so good.
Shoot, I'm still impressed of Xenoblade Chronicles X still like and Bayonetta 2. Like Bayonetta 2, Xenoblade Chronicles X from a technical standpoint, it's just like, how is this game still running at
I
this
know.
frame rate? Like how did you make this art work on this system? And how did you make this world look expansive that you look up and just be like, good night, it's still in real time going on.
Yeah. It's it's so good. It's so good.
And to bring that to Zelda, to Breath of the Wild, just like Monolith, how you like they had to work with Nit, they had to work with the Zelda team in order to show them how to make a big world like that continuously, flows.
Mm-hmm. Which excites me because I'm sure like with them teaching them things about Zelda and how to make that big open world, I'm sure Nintendo turned around and taught like they learned a few things from Nintendo on how to fill that open space with stuff because like I mean Xenoblade is beautiful and there's I mean that world is huge and stuff, but like sometimes there are plain spaces where you're running through to try to get to the next area. Like it's kind of
Yes.
it's I don't want to say empty, but it's not as dense as Zelda. And like I'm sure they found some ways and taught themselves how to do that while they're teaching them how to build an open world.
Yeah.
Like
And we'll probably see that teaching in Xenoblade too.
yeah, which is exciting, which is actually a good transition into our our next story where Nintendo UK reconfirmed Xenoblade's 2017 release, which a lot of people thought that Xenoblade was just going to come out was just going to come out in Japan at the end of 2017 and make its way here in 2018. But they reconfirmed that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a 2017 release for the Switch, which is even more exciting. They also reconfirmed that Fire Emblem Warriors is also a fall release for the Switch. So reconfirming those two titles for 2017, I think, is big because Nintendo's building a strong fall lineup. You know, you have Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Super Mario Odyssey, and then you've got third-party support. You know, the sports games, Skyrim is coming in the fall. Like, Nintendo has a huge lineup for the fall, and it's exciting. And that's not including, hey, we're going to add more maps to Splatoon. Hey, we're going to launch our virtual console at some point. Hey, we're going to, you know, these are all the indies coming out in the fall. So, like, yeah, man.
They have to be in the localization process now for a lot of these games.
Yeah.
You know, because, and I probably got to ask a friend because I want to know if you buy the digital Japanese version before you buy the American version. Do they like who gets the money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to buy the digital version from that eShop. So, like, you have to create a Japanese account. So I'm sure the Japanese branch of Nintendo will get, you know, if you buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2 from the Japanese store, I'm sure, you know, that branch of Nintendo and Monolith will get that money. So,
okay.
But yeah.
So people get up on your Japanese.
Plus, we still don't know release dates on games like Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. What else? Let's see.
Yeah, because I think Amazon or GameStop was taking pre-orders for Dragon Quest 2.
Mm-hmm. We still don't know about the Pokemon project they're working on. No, like when Rayman Legends Definitive Edition is coming. You know, they've got Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces coming out. So there's a huge lineup. Plus the rumor that Smash might come out this fall. Like the port of Smash Wii U might be coming this fall. So this is a monster lineup. Nintendo's really not slowing down. I would almost argue that there's too much coming out for Nintendo, which is not something we say a lot. It's exciting.
Well, they're putting the options out there to show that, hey, we have games that you guys are going to want to play at home and on the go.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I'm excited. I really want Switch to do well, and like I really want sort of. I can't wait till E3 first of all, because I know a lot of that stuff's going to be cleared up there, like what's coming, release window stuff, you know, maybe even new game announcements, whatever. But I really hope Nintendo takes the next step and is just like, hey, guess what? We're doing Nintendo Directs again more frequently. Because we've only had, 3 since Iwata passed away?
Yes.
So, I mean, I really hope that they start doing that again, you know, because they're showing, like, on Switch, for example, they have a feed for that stuff. They have, like, this video feed that you can go to outside of the games and outside of the eShop where you can just watch trailers, videos. Like I watched the making of Breath of the Wild, that first video that they posted in that feed, and you could just press play and watch it. And I was like, oh man, this is cool. This would be a great way to get people to watch directs.
Right. Well, if you mention a direct, people are waiting to watch it.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, oh, Thursday is the Nintendo Direct. I'd be like, oh, I don't have to work so I can watch it. Like people get ready and hyped to watch Direct.
Yeah. Like how excited were we to watch that Fire Emblem Direct?
Oh, I was so mad that I got called into work about that, but I literally rushed home to watch it. I didn't care if it was long or short. I'm just like, I want to see this direct because there's got to be something very entertaining and revealing that they're going to show.
Yeah, It's I want them. I mean, I don't know what I want. I want the directs, and I want to, like, we know what's coming. Now I just want to know when the stuff is
Yes.
coming. Like, and like, so I can start planning out a budget for all this stuff. Like, a lot of my Switch pre-orders are paid off, but like, I want to know what I need to save for now.
And I kind of it's I mean, I would like to have like at the end of the quarter. So like a big direct. Hopefully we get a big direct in April to cover you know, the Nindies, the upcoming games, and maybe do one or two reveals that whether they're indie games or a Nintendo game that was announced that finally gets a date. Or even leading up to E3, I would love to see like a spring direct from Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Have Damon Baker do the Nindy section. What's his name? Who normally does the directs, besides Reggie. I cannot think of his name.
Bill Trinan?
Bill Trinan. Have him do the directs, American directs. And or even have the guys who they use for the Japanese reveal. Like use those two, and if you have to, you know, dub them, but like have them have fun.
Yeah.
And let them do the directs, because I'm like, for a lot of people who don't know that, I watch the directs from every country. Like once the Japanese one is available to watch, I'll watch that. Once the Europe one is available to watch, I'll watch that, because I'm just like, I want to see what everybody's getting in their country. Of course, I'm gonna watch America first, but I'm like, I want to see what everybody else is getting, and how if theirs was fun and goofy. I was actually thinking about that yesterday. Actually Tuesday at work, which is like, I like when Nintendo is goofy and fun.
Yeah.
Because because they market themselves as an entertainment company, and they say that all they want to do is produce fun. I'm like, you guys know how to do that very well, because you make your directs look fun. Like even if we go back and look at the Iwata ones, we can see how much fun it might look crazy, but I'm just like, I know Iwata had to feel like a kid sometime, or you know, even though it's wacky, he probably had to see people's response and see how much people love him doing the stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it explains the fun that you guys are marketing and you want to deliver in your games.
Yeah. It's I think it's going to be important for um I think it's important for Nintendo to have fun with these. And you know, I feel like, you know, everybody's views Nintendo as like, they're so serious about stuff a lot of the time, like keeping things a secret or keeping things under wraps or hiding things from the media. And like, I feel like Nintendo needs to break that mold. And if they can have some fun with the directs and make them more frequent, you know, people will kind of ease up on that idea that they're like that. And I know like game companies want to keep their games a secret. So like when they're revealed, like it's a big deal.
Yes.
But you know, I think it's important for Nintendo to have fun with these too.
Yeah, I think so. I think with them, when they're trying to get everything together and make sure that they got their presentation right, ready to give, they'll deliver it, so that it will keep discussion about that title consistently going. Because if we talk, let's say, about the next Assassin's Creed, and they don't show, the first thing we're gonna be saying is, okay, where's it located at? Did they show any gameplay? And how long you think that conversation about Assassin's Creed is going to be talked about? Probably not. We probably won't talk about it no longer than 5 or 10 minutes if they didn't change nothing. But if they show like a different Pikmin and it's goofy, and then they start showing new gameplay ideas, we'll probably start talking about Pikmin probably for weeks and be like, "Oh, I can't wait for this game to come out," or "Can't wait for the next Nintendo Direct to show the next trailer of this game," or they hint at something.
Yeah. It's I'm excited for the next direct, and I hope this set of games is announced during the next direct whenever we get it for an American release. Secret of Mana series is coming to Switch.
Yes.
It's only been announced for Japan, and it's coming June 1st. And you get Secret of Mana with its prequel, which is Final Fantasy Adventure. It came out on Game Boy originally. I remember this game because I thought it originally was a Final Fantasy game, but now it's a Mana game. And then you get Mana 3, which wasn't released here. So that's exciting. Yes. I like Secret of Mana.
Oh, I told Johnny Womack, my good friend from Happy Hour, with Johnny and Deuce, I was just like, this may be my first import game from Japan.
Yeah, because the carts aren't or the carts are region free too, right?
Yeah, the carts are region free. It's just that everything is going to be in Japanese instead of American. Right. But I've played Secret of Mana too so many times. I pretty much know where everything is at.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any trouble. 3 though, I might have some trouble with. But hopefully Square Enix will be like, yeah, we need to localize this for America.
I mean, this sounds like something they would probably localize because a lot of people like Secret of Mana.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people are going to wait for a virtual console release. I feel like, Secret of Mana is the second game, but a lot of people didn't own that first game, and a lot of people didn't realize that Final Fantasy Adventure was the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people would play this just out of pure curiosity. Like, oh, this first game was a Game Boy game. I didn't play this, and the sequel never came out. It's almost that Earthbound effect, where people are like, not to that extent, because I feel like Earthbound, as time went on, became more popular in terms of translating that third game and stuff. But Nintendo did bring that first game over here, and they've been teasing Mother 3 forever. So I feel like people who are interested in that type of stuff, especially this collection, would sell well here.
What I think with Mother 3, I think everybody's just waiting for it to show up on Japanese eShop, so they can be like, okay, now we can set it, and now we can buy it. Because if there's a big demand for that game, and Nintendo Japan see that people are buying it from America, they're going to be like, well, we may want to localize this and try to sell the American version.
Yeah. So I would buy it just out of pure curiosity of 3, and if it looks anything like Secret of Mana, because Secret of Mana is just such a beautiful. They have screenshots on GameSpot that I'm looking at right now, and it's Secret of Mana is such a pretty game. I love, man, it is so good. I love the 16-bit stuff. Like, I like 8-bit stuff enough, but like, I really think in terms of sprite-based stuff, the best looking stuff ever. I just love it. I love the way this looks.
There's a lot of memories from the 16-bit era, and Secret of Mana definitely for me is like, that was my game for the summer. And every time I play, I just feel like I want to level up and get powerful, even though I beat it so many times. It's just like, once I'm playing the game, everything is just like doesn't exist around me besides the game.
Yeah, it's man, 16-bit is so good. I can't wait for Virtual Console. I can't wait for Super Nintendo stuff, even though I have it all on Wii U, and 3DS.
I mean, people want these games because now they could play it on the go on a bigger screen. Why not?
I mean, that's why I want it. I want, like, because the NES Mini does such a good job of showing what you can do with the power of it. And like, you can have pixel perfect mode, or you can have the full screen effect. And like, when you put stuff in pixel perfect mode on that thing, oh, it's so pretty. And I love you so much for getting it for me.
You're welcome.
I could just grab you by the face and just go, It's amazing. It's amazing. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Anyways, before I get Ed too excited.
I'm already excited because we're talking about Nintendo.
That's true. That is true. Anyways, there's nothing else really news-wise to talk about, but I don't know. Did you see?
Radiant Distance for 3DS. Atlas announced the collection for 3DS, but I think that's also in Japan. So that's another big title for Nintendo. I don't know what games it covers, but I just know that they announced it. And I know in Japan that Switch and 3DS is leading because Monster Hunter XX came out, and that's a big game for 'em. I think it's a 3DS title though.
Yeah.
So
I'm super interested after Fire Emblem comes out, because I tried to play. I restarted because I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone, and I was like, man, I really want to play some Fire Emblem. So I restarted Birthright. I started a new game on Birthright, and I played probably like an hour and a half the other night while my Switch was charging. And I still like my 3DS, but man, once you go from the Switch's bright LCD screen to like the 3DS's, I mean, don't get me wrong, green looks good, but like it's hard to go back. And I'm really interested to see how Nintendo supports the 3DS after enough people get their Switches, because it's just interesting. Like I want to go back and play Fire Emblem. I want to go back and play A Link Between Worlds again at some point. And like, I love my 3DS and I always will, but man, it was hard to go back. It was surprisingly hard to go back.
I think what's going to happen is that because the 3DS is probably going to be easier to get a lot of more games out, while the big ones for Switch are in line, are still being developed. It'll be easier for people to flip back, because some parents are now just be like, I don't want my kid bringing my Switch with them. Now the adults are taking the Switch to play, but not the kids, because they were just like, who knows what happens if they take their Switch to school and it gets stolen, or if they drop it while they out and stuff. Parents feel like kids probably won't be responsible with the Switch. So why not give them 3DS games that can make that's not the Switch, but could still satisfy that yearning for fun and entertainment. Because like still with E3 last year, there's a lot of 3DS games that I want. I lost my mind watching that Japanese trailer of Monster Hunter. That it looks like an action RPG kind of game that I want, and it's
What,
only
Monster
on
Hunter XX?
I think that's it.
I think they said that they're going to port it to Switch. I think Capcom already said they're going to port it to Switch at some point, but like, I don't know. But that game looks awesome. And like, for people who don't have a Switch, like, it's not going to be that hard to just say, okay, I'm going to play Monster Hunter on 3DS. But
right,
like, I feel like everybody who owns a Switch from now, and then they start putting 3DS games on the 3DS that they want, like if they start putting games on 3DS, and they're gonna be like, everybody that owns a Switch is gonna be like, man, I wish this was on Switch. And I'm already at that point. I'm like, man, I wish that Fire Emblem game was coming to Switch.
Yeah, I was thinking about it definitely with me. I was just like, you know what? I probably will do my Switch if I'm going to someone else's house that has it, or I'm going on a long trip. But other than that, I think I'm still gonna be I still carry around my 3DS. Yeah, I don't have a Switch now, but I'm like, when I get it, like 3DS is still my partner in crime for gaming.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, the 3DS is way easier to carry around too. And like, cause like, as much as I want to take my Switch places, like, I still have to put it in my carrying case. I still have to put it in a backpack. Whereas like the 3DS can just, my pockets are big because I'm a big person. So it slides right in. Super, super nice. But you know, I got it. Like I said, a couple days ago, I got a new phone, so I had to remake all my lists of games that like Nintendo games and like my 3DS list. I'm going through that list, and I'm like, man, I love so many of these games. I can't believe that system is going to be 6 years old. Like, it's such a good little system.
And it's great. I still am amazed on how many great games are still coming to it. And
I
I'm
mean, we
so
got a
happy.
Luigi's Mansion sequel on that thing.
Yes, this game's so good.
Oh man, and like I know a lot of people say Bowser's Inside Story is the best Mario and Luigi game, but like we got two Mario and Luigi games on there too. Like those games are super funny. Oh
Yeah,
man.
they are.
And that's a thing, like trying to like I know for like our podcast and stuff, we need to stay kind of in the loop on what's happening in the gaming sphere. And like that's just how podcasts work. That's we advance the shows and stuff like that. And but I read all these reviews. I've gone out of my way to just be like, okay, I'm not going to read reviews a whole lot anymore. I'm going to base my judgment on games based on what I like to play. And like, you know, if I buy a game that I don't really like, I can take it back. I can trade it in and get something else, you know, like Mario and Luigi Paper Jam didn't get great scores, but like I love that game. That game's amazing. I think that game is really amazing. And like, you know, Paper Mario Color Splash got a lot of mixed reviews. I think that's one of the best Paper Mario games outside of the GameCube one.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like it. I mean, I wish there was more RPG-ish elements to it, but I think that game is awesome. And like,
It's
Tokyo Mirage Sessions is one of the best JRPGs I've played. Like outside of Xenoblade, like that's one of the best JRPGs I've played in the last decade.
I've made my decision of playing that game for the summer because I'm like I really want to finish that game. And Paper Mario Color Splash is just funny as ever.
I know it's so these like the translation team at Nintendo in the Treehouse is solid. Like that. I mean, I know like the dialogue and stuff is probably way different in the Japanese version, but whoever's translating these games and rewriting them is just they're doing awesome.
I agree. 100% agree.
How do we get on this topic? I don't know.
We're talking about 3DS games. Between Switch and 3DS.
Yeah. I love that. I love my 3DS so much. Man, I just it's like I'm enjoying Nintendo so much lately. I don't know. Like I hit this point I don't know. I just there's something different, and I know we talk about this every week or every time we talk. It seems like, but every time I turn on a Nintendo game, it's just this kind of feeling of relief almost that it's like something different. You know, like I mean, don't get me wrong, Xbox is great. Like I love Gears of War 4 to death, and like I like Halo on occasion. I have to say that now because like I feel that I do like them, but like you know those games and like I like my PlayStation. You know, Destiny is a game that I spent over 1,000 hours in, and Tomb Raider is awesome. I still think Rise of the Tomb Raider is one of the best games this generation in terms of those two systems. But like every single game, I looked because finally PS4 has hard drive support, so I've been managing my games on there, and almost every single game on there, like every AAA game, it has you shooting something or stabbing something or killing something. And like I don't know, man. Every time I turn on a Nintendo game, I'm like Zelda, I'm just exploring or you know, it's just a different type of game that I'm playing, and it's just such a relief.
Yeah, the creativity doesn't follow its own path. And that sounds weird, but it's just like You could play Zelda, you could play Breath of the Wild, or even Super Bomberman R, and just be like, and just get a feeling that I haven't played something like this in a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I mean, there's games that you can start relating it to, but you don't. But that falls to the back of your mind, and when you don't even think about games when you're playing something fresh and very creative, you don't. It's just something that you normally don't say. Because
yeah,
if you're playing Halo, you'd be like, well, this might feel like Call of Duty, or this might feel like no. If you play something like Splatoon, just be like, I'm playing as Squids, and the game is not about killing anybody; it's about coloring.
yeah,
And your
yeah,
competition is now about, I want to get as much land covered in my team's ink. And I don't have to be the best at it. I just have to do it.
yeah. And like I was playing Super Mario Run in bed last night because I finally got I went out and purchased the whole game because I'm like, I like this game enough, and like it's only $10 for a Mario game. Like, okay, sure. And like I started playing through it, and I'm like, even this is fun. Like I know it's not like a quote real Mario game, and like you just tap to jump or whatever, but getting all those coins and stuff, it's not about killing anything. It's about finding those coins. It's about grinding those colored coins so you can find them
Yes.
and it like get the rewards from it. And when you go do the Toad Rally, it's about beating your friends. It's fun, and like 3DS does the same thing, and Switch is doing the same thing, and Wii U did a lot of that. It's just uh, it's awesome. It's just I
It
don't know,
gives you
and I feel
variety
like
in your, oh,
uh,
go ahead.
oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, like I feel like a lot of people are getting to that point where like you know thing other than a shooter. Like you see these even within the shooter genre, like people are doing different things. Like not everyone is copying Call of Duty anymore. You see interesting things that they're doing in Titanfall. You see interesting things they're doing in Overwatch. You're seeing the interesting things they're doing in Drawn to Death, which is a first person shooter coming to PS4 in April or May or something.
Mhm.
uh that's doing some interesting things in terms of, it almost reminds me of Splatoon a little bit, where the art style takes precedent over what you're actually doing. And like it, I just feel like people are getting tired and they want something more out of games. And like to appease fans, people are making shooters because they know people, the shooter genre still sells a lot. But like I feel like people are growing out of that and people want more from their games. And I think Nintendo is hitting that stride at the right time with the Switch. Zelda is very different. Splatoon is very in that genre. Fire Emblem Warriors is going to be awesome when it comes out. I just feel like the way people want different things from their games and the stride Nintendo is hitting with the Switch and all these cool indie games coming out, like I feel like people are finally going to realize like, oh, that's what I wanted.
But yeah, I think Nintendo gives an unexpected library. And the games that you think that you wouldn't play or you wouldn't think is fun, you end up trying it and just be like, oh my goodness, this is addictive and fun. Because I pretty much could probably guess a whole bunch of people's library for Xbox One and PS4. For people's 3DS and Switch and even Wii U, I couldn't guess what's on the system because there's so much good content that maybe they probably don't even have a lot of first party Nintendo games. They might have a lot of indie games.
Yeah.
And who knows? Like there's so much variety on on Nintendo's console that I probably could guess everybody probably has a Halo or Gears or Forza or Horizon Bloodborne or Uncharted 4. Like pretty much people have those. So those are like expected titles. I don't
And
want to
like
know.
even outside of Nintendo, like even like the Dark Souls franchise does something different, and people are realizing that that's like you know, what they want. They want something different and challenging other than like run here, shoot something, run here, shoot something. Like,
right.
I feel like, you know, to an extent, Dark Souls is that extension of old school Nintendo of like, this game is super challenging, but once you figure it out, you're going to master it. And like, I think that's the best example of a Nintendo style game. You know, I feel like, because there's this a huge rumor of them porting all 3 Dark Souls games to Switch at some point, and like From Software has that engine running on Switch. They're trying to optimize it and see if it's worth them games on Switch. And like, at some point, I'm like, yes, please, because I feel like that is the ultimate Nintendo game, and I feel like Dark Souls on the road with them, like the Switch is a perfect spot for them to do that.
It'll be easier for people to connect and fight in that game.
Yeah, and like I really like that idea. Like, I like Dark Souls a lot, but like, it's really hard for me to sit down for like 5, 6, 7 hours at a time and really try to hone skills and master where I'm at and figure out where I'm going in that interconnected world and stuff. But I would, if even if it's just like Dark Souls 3 that comes to Switch, like I would sit down and play through that game and just, I feel like that series is a series that belongs on Switch. It would be like Konami putting Castlevania on Nintendo. You know, it would be that's what I compare it to in a modern sense, is like Castlevania is like this as a more hardcore gritty game, and like, you know, having that on NES was awesome. But like, I feel like From Software's Dark Souls series is like, putting that on Switch would be that equivalent.
Yeah, and people who love Dark Souls need to play Deadly Towers on the NES if they can get their hands on the copy. and if you, because my friend asked the question, what is everybody playing? And one person comment, Deadly Towers. So I'm just like, this is the original Demon Souls of gaming.
Yeah, man, Deadly Towers, jeez. That game just makes me laugh.
Oh, that game is so hard.
Makes me cry just thinking of it. It's like when Ghouls and Ghosts came out.
Oh,
that game was so
I can
hard.
get past the first 45 seconds of that level.
And then to like get the real ending, you had to beat the game twice. Like, how is that even possible?
I think the furthest in the Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins series is that I almost beat it for the Sega Genesis, but I got to the point where I was on the ship with the weapon that I needed to actually beat the game.
Yeah,
that's as far as I got.
Oh man, good times. Well, what do you say we wrap up this episode and get out of here? I have some shrine. Do have to edit a lot of shows before next week. Well, I have to edit this show before tomorrow, and I've got some stuff to write for. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at @ThatRetroCode. You can find my show, Optional Opinion, at the Anonymous Radio Network.podbean.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. I have NGRs and PlayStation Achievement, Platinum Achievement. Sorry about everybody. Platinum Achievement podcast. Very own Matthew Kill. He joins me for Optional Opinion, where we almost talk about 3 hours of video game music and music in general. So do check that out. You can find it now on SoundCloud under Optional Opinion. I do have to upload it to everything else. And also next week, my Optional Opinion feature is about 4 iconic video game characters that define, that just changed probably pretty much everybody's life. And so the way that this one is being done is like mascot, female, anthropomorphic, and a game that's just changed, that's just pretty much is recognizable across the video game industry without no doubt. Like if you see this character, there's no doubt you know about something about video games. So that feature is coming next week. So do read it, guys. It'll be on IGN.com under anime, ENIME. So do check that out. It'll be Monday through Friday. And then Friday, Optional's Opinion podcast will be dropping dedicated to that theme. And you also can check my other podcast, World 101, at shoutengine.com.
Yeah. You can find me at Corey Hudson in HD on Twitter. You can find me at Corey in HD on Instagram. Come follow me. I've been doing some cool stuff over there, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's cool. You can find me here on Pal Block with Ed every Tuesday and Friday on YouTube, iTunes, Shout Engine, and Google Play. I'm working on the Stitcher stuff right now. You can find NGR Radio every Monday at 10 a.m. On iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, and all those topics broken out every day. You can find 20 Questions on YouTube. It goes up every Friday when we play it. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad at Matt right now.
I haven't heard it yet, but I seen your status. It's just like, I hate 20 Questions. And Matthew Keel. Oh my gosh, I hate him I was just like, what the world just happened?
Oh my gosh. I don't want to say anything. You're just going to have to watch it and find out. But that dude, he's a stickler for technicalities, and I hate him. I hate him so much. Matt, I hate you so much. But yeah, you can come subscribe to our YouTube page. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff. I think we're doing our Let's Play and podcast next week at some point.
Yes. We still need to finish Halo.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I can go back right now. I'm too stuck on Zelda. But we're doing some cool stuff. Joey and I have some cool stuff planned next week as well. And Matt and I are trying to figure out something to do, Blood Souls related. So,
Bloodborne?
Well, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff like that. I think him and Moose want to do some Hammer Brothers and the Hammer Bros stuff for Bloodborne. So,
okay.
I don't know. We're kind of in the midst of figuring out all that stuff going, just on our own and together and all that stuff. So, stay tuned for all that. We'll keep you updated. But thank you so much for watching, and until Tuesday, we love you.
Yoo-hoo!